All right, now our next guest, Louis Jr Tshakoane, was inspired by Sir Richard Branson, a British business magnate, investor, author and philanthropist. Sir Branson founded the Virgin Group in the 1970s, which controls more than 400 companies in various fields. The son of former Kaizer Chiefs spin doctor, Louis Tshakoane, has written a book on forex trading and joins us now in studio. The book is called Forex Millionaire in 365 Days by God's Grace. Welcome and thanks for coming through.
Thank you very much.
It's quite surprising for me that you're sitting here with us when we read newspaper articles that police are looking for you and can't find you.
Yes.
Tell us about that story first before we talk about the book.
Well, I'm an entrepreneur and a business person. I feel like if I was not here by God's grace, it would not be justifiable for me to say that police are looking for me.
So there is an outcry that you're running a successful forex business, which is what you've written about.
Yes.
And we'll go into it in a bit. But there's also an outcry that people are being swindled out of their monies. Yes. Is that the case?
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm a legitimate businessman. I'm South African. I don't plan to evade any person who inquires about my business.
Yeah.
I have an open book. I have audited financial statements.
Really?
I have
so
a
where are these
company.
assertions coming from?
Well, I run a business called Undercover Billionaires International, and cryptocurrency.
We see them driving around in those undercover billionaire cars.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. So cryptocurrency is the nature of my business, and it's a new form of trading in terms of forex, and it's a new age type of business, and many people don't understand it.
Absolutely.
So some people will buy a cryptocurrency and not know what they're actually buying, and
Let's
only realize
clarify.
later. Yeah.
Let's clarify then.
Yeah.
As you say, it's a totally new concept. Most
Yes.
people will take the chance and
Yeah.
put their money in it and discover what it really is.
Yeah.
For those who are sitting outside the circle and wondering,
Yes.
should we burn our fingers? Should we go in?
Yeah.
What is it really about?
The beautiful thing about cryptocurrency is that it allows for faster transactions. You don't have to wait for 24 hours for a transfer to take place. It is not considered legal tender.
Yet.
So
The South African Reserve Bank is grappling with that.
yeah, so they're still also trying to struggle, and we always say that if the Reserve Bank also wants to get a little bit more clarity, they can come to people like us. So I started the second biggest cryptocurrency in South Africa. I hired a team of engineers in India.
You've actually started an actual currency.
Not a legal tender, but a digital virtual currency.
Because most people will say they adopt onto some form of cryptocurrency. You've started your own.
Yeah.
Wow.
I created a platform through an engineering team that assisted me in India.
Yeah.
So I'm the marketing arm of that company, yes.
How do people demystify it?
Well, it's all about learning. Knowledge is power. That is why I wrote my book.
Yeah.
And it's all about inspiring young people to learn about the financial system, the financial markets.
Yeah.
I mean, the forex industry is a $6 trillion a day market. And I mean, anyone who wants to become successful can learn. And I believe in trading your own money. So everyone who engaged with transactions with my business were trading in their own capacity, but they were buying coins for my company. So it was an exchange. You give me money, I give you coins. So it's not an investment in the sense of I take your money and I swindle your money and I promise to invest it on your behalf.
So how do you monetize this process? At what point are you able to make your profit?
Yes. So the price of the currency fluctuates based on supply and demand. So if you buy at a low price and sell at a higher price, it's the same thing as when you buy the dollar at a low price and sell it at a high price in exchange for another currency. So it's the same thing. Yeah.
So what you were describing just now is what you've titled the book, Forex.
Yes.
In terms of the exchanging of money.
Yes.
So a potential investor, a person who wants to put their hard-earned money into this process, they first have to learn about the cryptocurrency side, which is online money, purely online, and then the forex side. Two completely different but very highly complex processes. How does the book simplify it?
Well, the book teaches people about three forms of trading.
Okay.
Fundamental analysis, which is trading based on the news, like we're on the news right now.
Yeah.
Whatever we say in terms of what is on the screen, it influences the market. and that can create a supply or a demand for the rand or the dollar. And if it comes to a fundamental analysis, you're using the news to determine when to go into the market and when to go out of the market. So if, for instance, there's something called the NFP, which is the non-farm payroll, which is when the USA, Donald Trump, will announce the unemployment rate of the US economy.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest market event of any forex day. And that happens on the first Friday of every month. And then we teach about technical analysis, which is the analyzing of charts, which you view in terms of the fluctuating movement of the market. And there are different patterns that formalize when you're actually analyzing those charts. And you can obviously predict what will happen in the market based on what has happened previously in the market. Then there's sentimental analysis, which is focusing on the trend of the market. So if everyone is buying at this point in time, it's not wise for you to sell, because obviously you'll be going against what everyone is doing. And definitely it's like obviously when you're swimming, you don't swim against the tide, you swim with the tide.
What you've just described, it requires a lot of management.
Yes.
Now, most investors are not management savvy, number one, or financials management savvy, but also, if I have a job to do here at the SABC, I'm devoting a bigger portion of my life on that. I don't have time to be managing the movements of, of financial movements of global currencies. How does that help or not help a person who wants to make money in this way?
Well, I believe knowledge is power. You know, Nelson Mandela once said that if you want to have the strongest weapon against poverty, it is through education. So I feel like the current financial situation in South Africa, we have a lot of the youth who are unemployed. It is very important for the youth.
And that's a serious problem.
Yes, it's a very big problem. And I believe that God has brought me onto this planet for a purpose and for a reason, not just to make myself successful or for me to do well for myself, but also to inspire other people, to teach them what I know. And I don't consider myself an expert in any consideration. I just consider myself someone who has a personal experience with the market. I trade my own money. And I believe that if someone wants to do the same thing, don't just jump into the market and throw your money. I believe that's the number one reason why people are losing money in terms of forex and cryptocurrencies, is because people are putting in money without actually knowing what they're putting the money into. And that is why
it's usually an emotional decision.
It's an emotional, impulsive decision to say that I want to go into the market and become rich overnight. Forex is not something that will make you rich overnight. Actually, you can become successful in
forex.
Of
us believe.
Yes. Hence, I've put 365 days. It does not guarantee that you'll become a millionaire in 365 days. My book simply gives you a benchmark to work against. And I've made good money in forex, and I believe anyone else can make money. I've seen the likes of Warren Buffett, the likes of Bill Gates, the likes of George Soros. They're successful forex traders, and I believe it's time for Africans to trade forex.
When you say you trade your own money, what are you worth?
I would like to say I'm conservative in my approach to my net worth.
Really? But hardly. We don't believe you.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to see any article describing how much I'm worth at the moment. I believe in, people will see my worth with my actions. But these are some of the terms that
the people that you've just mentioned are rated by, your George Soros, your Richard Branson. They are rated by their net worth.
The likes of Forbes magazine, right?
They're rated by their net worth.
Yeah. So I believe that I invite anyone to come and ask.
So you don't have to be coy.
I mean, if you ask the likes of the government and the people who inquire into my business, they know exactly how much I'm worth. I'm very open with that.
Okay, just to wrap up, tell us about yourself. How did you end up here?
Well, I started at the age of 16 when I wrote a letter to a guy called Sir Richard Branson. He's my mentor, and he's a business billionaire in pounds. And the first forex transaction that I ever did was with him. I wrote a letter to him, and I said, I want to inspire the young people of a township called Tembisa. And those are 2 million people living below the poverty line. And I said, I want to do something good for the community. I don't just want to be an entrepreneur to make money. I want to have an impact on society. And I realize there's a lot of youth who are on drugs, doing substance abuse, who are doing criminal activities because they don't have something practical to do, like to keep themselves healthy and fit. So
now, if we look at this, if this is anything to go by, you're doing really well.
Thank you so much.
But we can't completely disregard the people who are unhappy with the way you operate. What would you like to say to those people?
I would like to say if anyone has a problem with me, they can go to a court of law and prove that I'm innocent. But I also look forward to anyone who comes at me maliciously to face the repercussions of defamation of character. And because I invest a lot, I invested millions into my business, into my brand, in terms of social media marketing, and I'm able to keep all the facts in terms of whatever I do in business. So my legal team is really patient, and I'm a very patient man. I don't rush. I don't respond to media allegations. I'm a child of God. I believe that I'll let God speak on my behalf.
You're not a knee-jerk reactor.
No.
Thank you so much for coming through. I knew your dad, and if this is anything to go by, I think you've done well for yourself.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming through.
It.
The book is called Forex Millionaire in 365 Days by God's Grace, #1 Forex trading strategy for turning 500 into 1 million. And he terms it in USDs based on a true story. Louis Jr Tshakoane. You're watching The Agenda. Let's take a look at your weather prospect.